Welcome to Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League here in Glendale, California. Thank you for tuning in with us. Today's hosts, Alec Karamanian alongside Rich Almoyan. Alec, great to have you with us.
Great to be back here, Rich.
Alec, these two teams both fighting for a playoff position. Only one team out of the 9 teams in the AABA won't be making the playoffs, and it's one of these two teams.
A really important game for both of these groups. A lot of familiar faces for each other on both sides, so I'm excited to see it.
New player for Aparan, number 3, is Vernon Teal. Going to have to get a fresh look at him, known around in Los Angeles for his basketball repertoire. Starting lineup for Erebuni. Garin Spengian with the ball, Gavin Shagoyan, who has the ball now, Zaria Vedian, who has the ball now as well, Jonathan Hakim, and Derek Alayarian. For Aparan, you have Teal, Mirzakhanian, Andriasian, Krikorian, and Ohanessian. Teal goes up. It's good. Getting his first bucket in AABA basketball. Alec, quite a weekend we've had so far in our quadruple header, ranging from high school all the way down to the Pro-Am games. What's one game that really caught your eye today?
Rich, it had to be the game I did in the morning. Seeing the former team that I was helping build up. Now I'm not a part of it as much, but seeing my brother get his first win in the AABA, always good to see that.
A little bit of a Steve Kerr action there for you.
Yeah.
Or Mark Jackson, excuse me.
Yes,
as
sir.
Zaria Vedian opens up the stat line for Erebuni.
No, Rich, it's always nice to see a team that's young get their first victory, as Aparan looking for that today.
As Teal already showing his offensive repertoire. Spengian guarded by Mirzakhanian. Erebuni coming off a win, their first win in 2023 campaign. Looks like the ball's going to be going the other way. Erebuni notably has made some changes in their roster in comparison to the first game. You all might have seen them. Erebuni's actually, you know what, Alec? 4 of the starters, or shall I say 3 of the starters, 4 of the starters were not on the Erebuni roster last season. And 3 of them were acquired mid-season of this season.
Rich, whenever you have a team that struggles, you have to be willing to make changes. Unfortunately, sometimes playing time is one of the things that you lose out on, but adding the new guys, we saw it last week. You and I were doing the game, Rich. Erebuni really came to play, and I'm hoping to see a nice 3 there from Z. I'm hoping to see 2 weeks in a row from these guys. That's what I want.
Yeah. No, definitely, Alec. And, you know, the great thing about the AABA Pro-Am League is that any team can beat any team at any time, as Mirzakhanian shows an offensive point there. But that's the thing about this game that I'm interested to see about who is it going to be from Erebuni's side that's going to take it up a notch. Last game it was Garin Spengian, but can he keep that consistency? Derek Alayarian had his first game with more than 20 points, misses it there. So it's going to be about who picks it up for Erebuni. As we get a stoppage in play. The bench for both teams deep today. Teal with the ball. Shoots over Armenian, and so far majority of the points for Aparan by just one man, Vernon Teal. And another unforced error by the Erebuni, Alec. Those are going to be small little ticky-tack things that you're going to have to take care of, things that coaches basically are pulling their hair out most times about.
Yeah, a lot of gray hairs being formed from coaches when things like that happen, especially when you're playing a young, fast team. You can't afford to really turn the ball over that much.
Precisely. As another bucket comes in favor of Aparan. Aparan looking like a complete different team in contrast to the weeks prior. One of the new expansion teams here at AABA Prime League. They've been struggling with kind of having their identity here in the league. Most teams have their identity, but we'll see how Aparan builds as Hakeem, the Castaic High School athlete, getting offers from D2 and D3, left and right. Other way for Aparan, gets it into corner is Andreassian. He's going to let it fly. No good. Rebound, Big Z Avedian. How crucial is Zari Avedian's basketball background? I mean, he's a Callu Hall of Famer, but what does he bring to the table?
We talk about it week in and week out. Leadership, a veteran presence, and what we saw earlier, he can spread the floor out. He can shoot the three almost as good as anyone in this league. So just so many good things that come with him. The only thing with Big Z that I want to see a little more of is his activity on defense.
Exactly.
Really ramp that up guarding a guy like Danny.
People forget that Big Z, Zara Avedian, is one of the better defenders in his heyday as well. Long, has, a big wingspan to take care of on the defensive end, but it all comes down to his offense, really. Can he get it going too? But it's the defensive end that you really don't need too much to get going. All you need is effort. Teal brings it down the other way, guarded by Shigoyan, the Pacific League MVP of 2022. Off to Ohanesian. Andreassian, Krikorian, beautiful ball movement by Aparan. Missed. Spengen with the rebound. Has Alayarian leaking out on the right-hand side. Chooses him. Cuts through a Spengen. Spengen goes all the way. Lots of contact and a foul called by Mirzakanian. Alec Garin Spengen, one of the players coming out of the East Coast, moved from New York to Los Angeles, continuing his basketball career. What is one of those things about Garin Spengen that is irreplaceable when it comes for Erebuni?
He's a very high IQ basketball player, Rich. He can do a little bit of everything. He can shoot. He can attack to the basket. We always have good talks with Garin off the court as well. As long as he keeps his mind in check, he is probably the most important player for Erebuni today.
Composure is key as Nick Saunderson checks into the game for Erebuni. And Rini Lual for Erebuni as well. Checking in for Erebuni on the third end is Ruben Karakulian, one of the leading steals in all of this league, averaging 3 steals per game. That is quite the defensive effort there, Alec.
Yeah, very opportunistic. I know you love his game. I love watching it as well. Very opportunistic.
Spengen finds a cutting Lual, cousin of Fred Odiambo, the South Sudanese hooper from JUCO. Finds Sanderson. Volleyball pass to Karakulian. Karakulian finds Lual, but Lual's unable to control. And a beautiful pass by Mirzakani into Teal. And Lual gets there just after the nick of time. Scores 15-6 now. Substitutions for Aparan checking into the game as Arthur Kashishian, out goes Berge Krikorian. Arthur Kashishian, one of the lethal shooters on Aparan.
Rich, last week we saw Reynolds come in for Aparan and give him a little bit of a spark for this new team. But Teal, I'm just really, really impressed with the way he's brought a little bit of extra energy to this young group.
As Zari Avedian, sorry Alec, Zari Avedian very slow to get up. Avedian not happy with the foul he received. Excuse me, with the contact he received. As the other way, free throws will be coming for Aparan. Subbing out is Zari Avedian. Still chatting with the refs. as Teal will be going at the line to shoot. Vernon Teal converts the first of the two. Those of you checking in with us live, make sure to visit www.AABA.team for all the official schedules and scores. Karakulian to Spengen. Karakulian sets a screen on the right. Lual's open, looking for it. Spengen's going to go. He's going to let it fly. It's good for Garin Spengen. Vernon Teal receives the screen for Mirzakhanian on the other end. Ohanessian down to Mirzakhanian. Cutter is Andreassian, but tipped by Lual. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. 4:10 left to go in the first quarter. 17-9. 4 minutes to go as Mirzakhanian receives it from Teal. And Vernon Teal once more with now 15 points for the Aparan. 5 of 7 from field goals.
Just everywhere, Rich. He's just so composed. I'm really loving what I see from him.
Newest addition was approved by the league this morning as Spengen with another bucket, looking to extend his player of the game performance from last week. Sanderson guarding Mirzakhanian. Spengen guarding Ohanessian. Ohanessian let it fly. No good. Lual with rebound. Has Spengen to his right. Sanderson to his left. Hakeem's in the corner. Sanderson shouts. It's good for Nick Sanderson. Quite the offensive performance to make a comeback for Erebuni already in the first quarter. Teal takes Lual all the way. Lots of contact and called as he was going up. At the line, Teal already showing aggressiveness on the offensive end for Aparan. Alec, being the new expansion team in AABA, oftentimes you come flat-footed into league, kind of what happened to Aparan. What are they starting to learn, and what pieces are they starting to add as the league progresses?
As you progress, you add guys that are physical, guys that don't need to really have the ball in their hand to make a difference. Guys that are just coming in and trying to fill in a role that you're missing. Obviously, there are reasons why you haven't been successful. So a guy like Teal is a perfect example, Rich. I don't think I've seen him bring the ball down any possession as a point guard, right? But he has been a part of every play.
As Karakulian passes to Lual, and Lual able to make the bucket. 21-16, Erebuni down by 5. Aparan led by the offensive prowess of Vernon Teal. Spengen there on defense, able to get crafty with it. Karakulian has Sanderson to his right, takes it all the way, misses it, tries to get his own rebound, unable to over Mirzakhanian. Andreassian finds Teal. Teal, nifty move, finds his way to the basket. Already 19 points for Teal. Hakeem, relatively quiet morning so far. Hakeem's going to go up. Thought he got fouled. No call. Lual's there to grab the rebound instead, and it's a jump ball. Referee's trying to figure out whose it is. Ball remains in the same side. Shot clock's at 8. Substitutions for Aparan. In comes Tade Esagulian for number 21, Daniel Mirzakhanian. Good news for Erebuni. Zari Avedian feeling well, comes back. Checks in for Garin Spengen, the player of the game from last week. Lual has Avedian posting up. Lual has an open Hakeem, chooses Avedian instead. Avedian lets it fly, no good. Hakeem's there, tip, action, and Aparan keeps it alive. Kashishian, left-hand side, goes straight to Karakulian. Erebuni wanted to travel, no call. Vernon Teal over Avedian. But Andreassian's there to keep it up, but no good. Those small possessions, what I was talking about, Alec, that you're going to wish you made towards the end of the game.
Tough break there.
Lual guarded by Esagulian. Set screen by Avedian. Flares out. Karakulian receives it. Avedian wants it down low. Has a Vernon Teal behind him, but miscommunication on Erebuni's end. Hambarsumian, he lets it fly. No good. Lual with the rebound. He's going to slow things down as Karakulian comes to get it. Erebuni yet to run an offense against Aparan. Avedian with the easy rebound, and already the contact on the ground. The first foul on Roni Hambarsumian. Alec, this team, Erebuni, night and day difference. What's going to take for them to remain optimistic for the playoff run? I mean, if you do end up in playoffs, you're likely going to play Harazdan or Avan.
A bad matchup either way. It is tough. It is very tough whenever you only have one or two guys that at any given time can take the game over. And a guy like Derek, we mentioned him last week. He really stepped up, hit a few big shots. I really need to see him step up here and help this group out today.
And during our conversation, checked out was Narbe Andreassian, checked in as Bez Krikorian, and I agree with you. Harazdan and Ravan do not sound like a great matchup against this squad, but it is what it is. Teal, the other way, has Krikorian opening up. Teal takes it himself instead. No good. Hakeem with the rebound. 27 seconds left in the first quarter here at Academy USA Arena. Hakeem goes all the way. No good. Karakulian tries to tap one of it, but Hakeem's hustle is able to keep them back for the last shot, potentially, but Karakulian lets it fly. It's good for Ruben Karakulian, the Burbank High School alumnus. 7 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Hambarsumian, circus shot doesn't go in, and 1.1 remaining to get a shot up for Erebuni. Alec, times like this, do you call a timeout or do you roll it?
You got to let it go.
And with that, the first quarter is in the books. Aparan 23, Erebuni 19. We'll be back with more after a few words from our sponsors.
Keep them. Hello everyone, I am Nare from Armavir's Lernogok village. I've participated in almost all of Co-op's programs. Now I work as a communications manager and I continue judging debates for different organizations. Co-op has taught me how to be open-minded, how to look at things from different perspectives, and how to grow as a person and as a professional. Co-op has made me a dreamer. I catch myself dreaming about my future and my country's future very often, and I've learned that from Co-op. I am forever grateful for the inspiration and support that I've received from Co-op, and I will cherish that forever.
And we're back at Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League, the developmental league for the national team and professional teams in Armenia, located in the South Caucasus. Make sure to check out www.aba.team for the schedules and scores of all things AABA Pro-Am League. Alec, so far in the first quarter, a little rough start by Erebuni, but they were able to come match up to a 4-point deficit. What are you expecting in terms of adjustments as Daniel Mirzakhanian makes it down low?
It was a win, a big win in that first quarter if you're Erebuni, going down by 4. I know they just hit a bucket here, but, I mean, being only down 4, Rich, for a team that really didn't play well at all up until the last few minutes. I agree. You got to be happy, but at this point, if you're Aparan, you have to keep up what you did in those first 5 minutes. Push the ball on these guys.
I agree, Alec. A lot of adjustments will be made on both ends as a foul is called against Garin Spenjin. Hakeem checks out of the game. In comes Alayarian. Rini Lual in foul trouble for Erebuni with 2 fouls. He's going to have to be out for quite some time until the coach is ready to put him back in. And ball remains in the hands of Aparan. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Got to be mindful about that. Krikorian wants it, guarded by Karakulian. As Karakulian really making it tough for Krikorian. That's exactly why he's one of the leaders in steals already in this league. Krikorian, he's going to have to let it go up. And a basket's good by Arthur Kashishian. Very tough basket over the much larger Zari Avedian. Sanderson to Spengen. Wants it back. Spengen trying to time it. Spengen goes up. It's good. Garin Spengen uses his size against the smaller Esagolian. Beautiful pass by Hambartumian to Esagolian. To Kashishian. Cross-court pass. Dangerous. Korean receives the screen. Mirzakhanian wants it back. He's guarded by the smaller Karakulian. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. He's going to have to act. No good. Mirzakhanian thought he got fouled, but continues his life. Alayarian, Avedian, has two of them on him. Finds Karakulian open. He's going to let it go. Air ball. Rebound, Avedian.
Good energy here from Erebuni after getting that first bucket scored on them. Great energy, making it a 4-point game now.
Argan Sarkisian, head coach of Aparan, wants to talk it over. We'll be back with more after a few words from our sponsors.
What's important for this upcoming season is just Gary being consistent and getting a chance to show what he can do and be on the court, and all this hard work to pay off from where he started last year and kind of just keep evolving to where it's going. As we talk about, G, it's about getting 1% better every day.
We're back at Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. Aparan Erebuni. Timeout was called by Aparan as Erebuni looks to chip this lead further on. Recently checked in as Shagoyan, the MVP of the Pacific League in 2022, uses a lot of body control but unable to succeed. Teal to Hambartumian, goes up, it's good. How different does Aparan look with the addition of Vernon Teal?
It's a huge difference, Rich. A guy that I'm thinking to myself, he's probably one of the better players that the league has. Just watching him here today, really composed, and you see how much he's elevated the rest of his team.
Professionalism unmatched by Teal today.
Rich, if I'm Erebuni, I think about going zone at some point in this game. It worked for them last week, and especially when you got guys like this that are hitting against you, maybe a zone might be a good option.
I agree with you. On the other hand, this team could be lethal from the three. So, I'm just looking at, who's on the roster. Ohanessian, Andreassian, Krikorian, all of them have the three in their bag as Spengen able to make the mid-range. But every single one of them able to really have the three-pointer in their bag. It's really tough. But I agree. Until then, as Teal knocks down the three, you're going to have to really focus on what kind of changes you got to make.
I love it, Rich. As he's walking up the court, Erebuni was talking a little bit, and he said, you know what, okay, I'm going to play now. I thought he was playing already. Now you're going to make him mad? Okay.
Sanderson goes up. Fouled in the action. Looks like we have 2 free throws coming towards Nick Sanderson. First game with Erebuni. Making an effort already on both ends. And for those of you just tuning in, if you're unaware where to find the official stats, there's only one place to find that, and it's www.aba.team. That's AABA.team. Checking in for Aparan, Narbe Andreassian, one of the offensive leaders of Aparan, scoring at least 20 points in most games. Sanderson completes the bucket. Scores now 34-27, less than 6.5 remaining in the half. There's going to be a lot to talk about after the Armenian sniper halftime report, Alec.
Rich, it does look like Erebuni went into that 2-3, so they got to be careful about what you talked about, those shooters on the court.
Already a little flustered was Aparan, not realizing that the zone was so imminent. Sanderson has Shigoyan. Shigoyan just needed to cut there, unable to see the vision. Sanderson has Spengen wide open. Is he going to pass it? To use contact instead, veteran move by Sanderson, getting Ohanessian in the air.
That is a true veteran move, Rich. Knowing that you have a younger guy guarding you, he wants to go for that pump fake. Really nice patience there from the newest addition, I guess, to Erebuni.
Alec, I'm going to ask you kind of one of those questions that goes through everyone's mind, but we frequently really say it out loud. Which one do you like being more? And you're a coach and a player, so which one do you like being more, a coach or a player?
I love playing, Rich. Something about the game when you're on that court, you're in a different world. But as a coach, you have the ability to make so many adjustments for your guys. Really, you're the last line that they rely on. So it's really important for both of these coaches here. You got Zara Zargarian stepping in today along with Argin on the other side. It's like a chess game between the coaches. So
yeah, as Vernon Teal on the other end makes another bucket, something he is not new to, clearly. Avedian goes up, looking like a vintage Avedian. Does quite well. And he's going to go up for a couple of free throws.
Rich, I think if you ask any player in this league, they get excited for certain games more than others. I guarantee you both these groups kind of circled this game up, having some familiar faces on both sides. I think they were super excited to get this one going. And, you could tell by looking at the fans. You got a great number of people here at Academy watching both these teams today.
A significant boost from last season, something we're really trying to get better at, making sure that the stands fill up as time progresses. Hopefully one day we're too big to be in this gym, but until then we thank our sponsor, Academy USA, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. As Narbe Andriassian, guarded by Shigoyan in that zone. And it looks like that zone has been working, Alec. What do you think?
I think Erebuni has done a good job of playing 2-3 zone, but got to keep it up now.
Great offensive rebound by Shigoyan. Has Hakeem in the corner. Spengen's going to let it fly. It's good for the native Queens New Yorker. Vernon Teal finds Krikorian in midair. Spengen's going to have a lot on his plate trying to guard him. Teal, lots of contact there, and the foul is called, rightfully so, against Zare Vedian on the floor. 4 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the rest of the half. Scores 36-34. Erebuni cut this lead as much as they could. Andriassian unable to miss an easy one. Teal gets deflected from good hands by Avedian. Alayarian finds Shigoyan. Shigoyan's going to let it go. No good. Rebound Hakeem. Goes up. He needs to wait a little bit longer to put that bucket up, as Spengen is very slow to get up for Erebuni. Cross-court pass by Aparan. Shot, no good. Andriassian with the rebound. Krikorian finds Teal. Threads the needle for that, but Teal goes nowhere. Mirzakanian to Krikorian. 5 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to have to let it go. Narbe Andriassian, no good. And a rebound by Zare Avedian.
Good activity there from Aparan. Just couldn't finish. But they're moving the ball very well today.
One thing Erebuni needs to add is cutting. There is no cutting, really, no off-ball movement. Everyone's kind of just watching one dude with the ball. As Avedian stays active, and Alec, this is what we were talking about. Can Z remain active, consistent, and composed? And I think so far he's been doing a great job. Avedian at the line, going to shoot 2. For those just tuning in, this is the 4th game of our quadruple header. Wonderful games already occurred. Artsakh Armend. That was quite the decisive match as Artsakh went down to 1-3. And Aparan and Erebuni might throw a wrench in Artsakh's plans for the playoffs. We'll see.
It's really funny when you get down to the end of a season how the 1 or 2 games that you shouldn't have let slip away or whatever the case come back to bite you. And we're seeing that on some of these teams today. You got to be careful.
Garin Spengen, very slow. Looks like he got a minor injury. We hope to see him back. As Aparan, great ball movement in this zone. Great defense against Teal as well with Shagoyan. Ball saved. Shot clock does not renew. And it does. Teal takes it all the way. And no good, but gets his own rebound with a leg. Teal already with 26 points, by the way, Alec.
Rich, do you think he did that one on purpose? It seems like that's the second time he did that.
You know what? I don't put it past him, but it's a smart play, something that all of us learned from Kobe. Tough break for Jonathan Hakeem, still trying to find his offensive rhythm as Andreassian harassed by Avedian, but is able to get the bucket nonetheless. Great upper body strength by Narbe Andreassian. Avedian almost got the ball stolen by Mirzakhanian, but out goes the other way for Aparan. And Andreassian, easy bucket there. Down by 6 is Erebuni. Alayarian finds Hakeem. Hakeem's going to let it go. No good. Rebound attempt by Rini Lual. Vernon Teal instead. And a block foul on Jonathan Hakeem. Zaria Avedian pleading his case to the ref, letting him know he was trying to foul on purpose. No call, which honestly, gentleman's agreement.
It's one of those plays that everyone loves doing nowadays, that take foul. And it should have probably been a foul, but nonetheless.
I like the referees letting him play there. No easy cop-outs. Teal shoots it over Sanderson. And a foul on number 6, Arthur Kashishian. We're going to get a 1-and-1 action. Excuse me. Free throw action as they're in the bonus. No 1-and-1 in AABA Pro-Am League. Only at the high school level. Free throws coming towards Garin Spengen. I was talking to Garin a couple of weeks ago, Alec, and I was telling him how New York basketball is completely different than Los Angeles. He told me, hey, you know what? We don't call fouls there till there's blood. So I'm quite happy that they didn't call that foul on the other end. You know, it's that New Yorker mentality that's Spengen.
Rucker, right? Rucker Park basketball. They have a different vibe to them, and he's brought that here.
I remember when visiting New York, that was the first place I went. I said, screw all the skyscrapers. Take me to the Mecca. Take me.
Have you been to the Garden?
I have been to the Garden. And
That's
funny
a dream,
enough,
man.
with Garin Spengen.
Oh, that's a dream.
4th row, we got to watch Kemba serve as Spengen able to knock down the second. Teal to Andreassian. Andreassian's going to lead the point guard game. They want Mirzakhanian in the middle. Mirzakhanian harassed by Alayarian. Andreassian finds himself next to a bunch of trees and still able to go score.
Just being in the right position is half the battle when you're playing this game. Being in the right spots.
Karakulian Alayarian. Lual thinks about it. Has Spengen. Finds Karakulian. Karakulian with 7 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to make a decision. Alayarian, no good. And out goes the other way with a 6-point lead by Aparan with less than 1:05 left to go in the half. Lual has Sanderson leaking out. Karakulian receives it. Has a lane. Chooses Sanderson instead. Sanderson goes up. No good. Bunch of bodies flying. And Aparan on the floor. Spengen helps him up. And the ball remains in the hands of Erebuni, it seems. 13 seconds on the shot clock. 53 on the game clock. Sanderson guarded by the much smaller Kashishian. Kashishian doing a quite good job of guarding him, though. But Sanderson's offense takes it a little above and beyond. You were kind of saying no to what I just said there.
No. Could have been a discontinued dribble there as we had a – I'm not really sure what just happened.
Wow. Sorry, Alec. I had
kind of left us speechless, both of us. What just happened?
Both of our mouths just jaw drop.
You know, I think we look at Derek as such a good defender, and when I saw him go to the ground there, I didn't really know what had happened.
I'm sure from his perspective there's some kind of trip. Sanderson with 9 seconds left in the half goes up, no good. Last shot will be taken by Aparan. Krikorian, and it's good. Scores 48-40. Aparan up by 8. We'll be back with more after a few words from our halftime report sponsor, the Armenian Sniper Report. We're back here at Academy USA Arena, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League, the developmental league for the national and professional teams in Armenia. Alec, as always, the Armenia Sniper halftime report. What's something that you'd like to see from Erebuni and Aparan separately, and what did you see in the first half?
Definitely want to see Erebuni come out strong in these first couple of minutes with a defensive focus. They let it get away from them a little bit, Rich, at the end of that first half. As one of the best newcomers in this league, Vernon Teal, is just the person I'm looking at for Aparan, just to keep it consistently going for this group. He's done everything.
And in terms of, like, when we're talking about offense, right, they usually talk about Vernon Teal. He has 30 points, by the way. 30. And he's at 50% from the field. Absolutely nuts. As Alayarian, he's going to shoot from the corner. No good. Hakeem already with 5 points in less than a minute. Teal's going to go up. And veteran move, not going for the dunk, going for the easy lay.
But
Scores.
Rich, out of a made basket, how does he get a full fast break layup on the other side?
Can't happen. Can't happen. Lots of contact there. Another take for Spengen, but they're going to have to make a comeback on the other end. Shagoyan tries, but not enough. And this is where it comes down to, in terms of Erebuni, the composure that we're talking about, that we saw in the last game, but it can't be in and out. It has to be consistent. And this is something I was speaking with Vanessa in the last game, is leadership. Leadership comes with consistency, and Erebuni is in desperate need of leadership right now. Foul on the play. Going to be in the hands of Erebuni. Avedian receives it. Goes up. It's good for Zare Big Z Avedian. Teal brings it the other way. Shagoyan and Hakeem at the top of this 2-3 zone that was working for them relatively in the second part of the first half. And a blocking foul by Garin Spengen. I see you nodding, Alec.
I definitely didn't get there in time, Rich. When you're in a zone, it kind of puts you in some good situations and some bad, obviously. The bad is guys penetrating in that middle. Garin was just a little too late there.
Teal will be at the line, the leading scorer for Aparan, now with 33 points. Man, what a debut he's had. Teal literally has 32 points and 17 rebounds already, Alec. 17 rebounds, 34 points, and it's not even the fourth quarter.
Rich, I have no background on where he played or really haven't seen much from him. I haven't seen anything from him before today. But my guess is that wherever Teal had played before, and I'm going to do some research, trust me on this, he is a true basketball player. What do I mean by that? Limits turnovers, as I kind of jinxed him there. Limits on his turnovers, but just so composed, so composed.
Vernon Teal, background in Loyola Marymount University from Jamaica, Queens, New York. Averaged 35 points for LMU, 11 rebounds and 3 assists, and 4 steals per game as a senior in high school.
I mean, that is impressive anywhere you play.
I'm going to repeat this one more time. Vernon Teal scored 35 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals per game in high school. That is crazy. And in college, he averaged 15 points per game for LMU, a very tough D1 school. Dare I say this league is getting a lot stronger day by day?
I think it is, and we see it. We see it every week. I feel the competition level is rising.
Teal guarded heavily by Alayarian. the Canadian Armenian, moved to Los Angeles for the league. This 2-3 zone that Erebuni's in leaves an open gap for Armenian Honessian to shoot. No good there. Spengen with the rebound. Has Shigoyan leaking already. Alayarian. He's going to let it fly. No good. Mirzakhanian with the rebound. Scores 54-50, closing in on 6.5 left to go. And Spengen was set, but a no call by the referee.
Those are tough possessions. It's a bang-bang play. The ref probably thought it was a little bit of a flop. Let it go.
As Hakeem able to score on the other end. Hakeem a lot more active than he was in the first half. Very quiet in the first quarter, but they're going to need a lot more from Jonathan Hakeem as Aparan loses the other way in order to get this W. And we mentioned the importance of this game, Alec. Winner of this game really gets to dictate which placement they enter into playoffs. But let's not forget, Armand and Erebuni do have a game next week, which will heavily determine Artak's fate in this league as Sanderson checks in for Shigoyan. Avedian finds an open Spengen. Spengen no good. Alayarian putting in last moment effort. Avedian fouls Teal. Strategically, might I add, as we're getting subs on both teams. Aparan's Arthur Kashishian checks in for Armenian Honessian, and Erebuni's Rini Lual checks in for Garin Spengen. Teal takes it out. Krikorian back to Teal. Krikorian flares open from a screen by Mirzakhanian. Kashishian in the corner. Mirzakhanian back in the middle. Good basket by Daniel Mirzakhanian. Daniel Mirzakhanian, one of those players that you love to have, really physical down low. Alec, what sets Mirzakhanian apart from other forwards in the league?
He's very patient. All players let it get out of their control sometimes, but Danny does a good job of just being what this team needs him to be, which is a patient center, not someone that takes a lot of threes. He does what he needs.
Very well put. For Aparan, they need a lot of stability. And a foul call by the referee. Coach Sarkisian disagrees, but the story of every tale, the coach and the referee.
I don't think I've ever seen a player or a coach agree with a call that went against them.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe the ancient Greeks were so composed where they're like, you know what? Maybe losing in an Olympics is fine with me. It's okay. This is my second ancient Greek reference in 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on with me. Great move by Teal against the younger Hakeem. Lual with the rebound. Fights with his own teammate for the rebound, but little did he know, Aparan's right next door as well. Mirzakhanian attempts. No good. Teal with the rebound. Avedian blocks Teal. And it's good for Erebuni to keep alive. Sanderson. Nick Sanderson loses a hold of it. Lual is cutting. Alayarian doesn't see him. Lual goes for a rebound. No good. Andreassian takes it the other way. Teal, Mirzakhanian, 2 against 1. Teal misses. Alayarian has Sanderson in the corner and Hakeem as well. Chooses Hakeem. It's good. Hakeem is alive in the third quarter, and this lead is dropped down to 3 points. Bad gamble by Alayarian allows Mirzakhanian to shoot that 3. Another thing I like about Mirzakhanian, he has no limit to his range.
Big shot there from the big Danny.
What a play by Mirzakhanian. Missed shot by Alayarian. Teal again in a fast break against Erebuni. And Erebuni is going to have to come back to be able to guard this. They're only down by 8.
They're getting a little tired here, Rich. We can see it.
Subs too.
Yeah, they had a good run there, but now all of a sudden back to 8.
Avedian smoothly hears us from that side.
Needed
of the court. 3 minutes, Closing in on 3 minutes in the third quarter. It's 57-63. Both teams fighting for a playoff position. Nothing is guaranteed between Artsakh, Erebuni, and Aparan. With Armenians and Academy USA officially clinching their playoff positions in the top two, which means Academy USA, Alec, will be playing Vaughan. Excuse me, actually, Academy USA or Armenians will be playing Vaughan or Aragats. Vice versa. It really just depends on if Armenians can seal the deal next week in the last game of the season. Vernon Teal, as we were recently learning about his high school career in New York, from Jamaica, Queens. Scored 35 in high school. As Karakulian lets it fly, the Burbank High School alumnus misses it. Rebound Hambartsumian. Kashishian brings it down the other way. Tries to get Karakulian off him. He does successfully. Gets it to Andriasian. Mirzakhanian. Pass to Teal. And a beautiful play by Aparan. 10-point lead for Aparan. Might be the largest lead they've had in this season.
It's starting to get a little out of hand for Erebuni, I think. You got to be careful here.
Attempt by Lual, his first three-pointer of today. Great pass down to Mirzakhanian, and it's good for Mirzakhanian. Erebuni really holding on to that timeout. 69-57. Hakeem to Spengian. Spengian goes up, and it's good for Spengian. Vernon Teal, guarded by Jonathan Hakeem, the Castaic High School forward. Rennie Lual guarding Mirzakhanian. Back to Teal. Hakeem trying his best, but Teal finds Andriasian. Beautifully done by Teal and effortlessly put by Andriasian. Alec, this team looks completely different than it did a few weeks ago. Aparan learning to add a couple of pieces to their lineup as Sanderson unable to make it there, and a few substitutions coming our way.
They could be very dangerous, Rich, if they get into the playoffs along with these new players, Teal, Reynolds. They're starting to find something here, and this game is a perfect way to kind of blend all of those things throughout the season that you've been working on.
And a clear offensive foul. I could have called that with my negative 3.75 vision with that offensive foul. Excuse me, offensive screen foul? Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, offensive foul.
Illegal screen. Thank you to our producer. Excuse me, moving screen. And also an illegal screen. Thank you to our producer.
Oh.
Vernon Teal goes the other way, and he's going to go for the easy lay. Nothing crazy, nothing too shiny. Just got to make sure you put the ball in the hoop. 73-59, less than 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Avedian looking like vintage Z. And 73-61. If you're Erebuni, you got to be thanking the Lord that you are only down by 12.
The way that the last few minutes have gone for Aparan, yes, again, you're happy with only being down by 12 points.
Vernon Teal picks up his 42nd point of tonight, and he just might beat Ryan Carter's scoring today. Ryan Carter scored at least 60 points tonight.
Rich, I don't know many players that had 40 points, 42 points entering the fourth. That's got to be one of the highest, if not the highest in this league.
As Aparan and Erebuni head to the fourth quarter, we'll be back with more after a few words from our sponsors.
17. Mixonoris does not. I'm missing it. Hi, my name is Razmik. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Armenian village. I'm a graduate of Co-op's Theater Club. I'm a student at the French College in Armenia, and my biggest achievement is the growth I had in the last couple of years, both mentally and physically. Co-op inspired me to make my dreams come true. I used to be shy, I wasn't active in social life, but the theater club gave me confidence and strong communication skills. Co-op education programs are very important because they help so many people from so many different places to discover themselves.
And we're back at Academy USA Arena, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League. Score 61-75, entering the fourth quarter. Alec, what is Erebuni going to have to do to change things around? And on the contrary, what does Aparan have to do to keep things under control?
You got to get the ball out of Vernon Teal's hands. I mean, the guy has 42 points, barely missed any shots here today. Make someone else beat you. Simple as that.
Vernon Teal, 15 of 16 from the field tonight. I don't think I've ever seen a more efficient 40-point performance from anyone in my entire life. As that becomes the change there. Shagoyan goes up, no good. Hamartsumian goes up, and it's good for Teal, picking up his 44th point of the night. 77-63, still a lot of game left for Erebuni. They've made comebacks like this before, but not in the fourth quarter in the past. Spengen, easy layover at Sigolian. I think Spengen, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alec, but Spengen might have the mismatch on him. What do you think?
I think Garin is one of the more skilled offensive players, and any person is going to be a little bit of a mismatch for him. But now it's up to your teammates to recognize that and try and get that back to you.
Karakulian, easy deuce. 67-77 as Erebuni looks to make things a little bit more competitive in the fourth quarter.
I really like what I'm hearing from Coach Zara Zargarian on the sideline. He's getting his guys to push up. When you're down, you have to change the tempo up.
Oh my God, I thought that pass was going to get there, Alec. I'm a bit of an optimist, clearly. Vernon Teal tries to get Hakeem off him. And a foul, a hard foul by Avedian, just to make sure nothing easy comes towards the basket. 79-67, less than 8 minutes left to go in the fourth and final quarter of regulation. Who knows? Overtime may be imminent. Substitutions for Aparan. Out goes Kashishian and Esagolian. In comes Mirzakanian. Excuse me, in comes Krikorian and Ohanesi. Karakulian, one of the newest members, bringing up the ball for Erebuni. Leading in steals on all fronts and guards. Zaravedian brings it down. Beautiful basket, but a block and a foul called by the referees. What a break for Hakeem. I heard all ball, but remember, if there's a foul and the referee's looking at you in a funny way, then it's probably a body foul. So Hakeem's going to really try to nail these two as the clock stops. And he does. And for those of you just tuning in, this is our fourth game in our quadruple header. We had some insane, aggressive, and fantastic basketball showcase today as Hakeem unable to make it, but Shagoyan's there to rebound. He shoots it, lets it fly, and it's good.
Huge shot there.
Back to a 10-point deficit for Erebuni.
He's got to be more aggressive, Rich. He has to be more aggressive. He's one of the better young players in this league. it's not easy when you have a lot of, I want to be kind and say characters on your team, but he's got to step up and be one of the guys.
As Hakeem picks up a foul there, a defensive foul. Fouls will be an issue when it comes down to the wire. Got to make sure both teams are staying beneath the bonus. Mirzakhanian to Teal. Hakeem guarding Mirzakhanian. Spenjin on Teal. The switch that Teal wanted. Goes up, no good. Erebuni goes the other way. Shagoyan looks to take it all the way, and Shagoyan, the former MVP, able to change things around. 81-73, frustration timeout called by Aparan. They're going to want to talk things over, and we'll be back after a few words from our sponsors.
Professional orientation կարևոր է, որովհետեւ I am Manush from Shenik village. Being from the older generation of co-op kids, I participated in various programs: healthy lifestyle, English access, professional orientation, and startup incubation. I study international relations at Yerevan State University, and last semester, as an Erasmus Plus student, I studied political science at the University of Messina in Italy. Many soft skills I gained and volunteering experience I had with co-op programs helped me to reach even Italy, study abroad, and come back again to my village. Co-op motivated me to be the change I want to see in my community. I want to emphasize the importance of English access and professional orientation programs in my life, which helped me to improve my English skills and make a decision to become a diplomat.
Welcome back to Academy USA Arena, home of the AABA Pro-Am Basketball League here in Glendale, California. Southern California has finally some sunny weather, no more rain, and I love it. Andreassian to Krikorian to Ohanessian. 81-73, 6.5 left to go in regulation. Vernon Teal has to go up, no good. Hakeem looks to get a rebound, no good. Shot clock resets to 10 seconds. Passing, oh, beautiful passing by Aparan, and Andreassian, hands in the air. Are you not entertained, is what he asks, as Karakulian brings it the other end. Avedian guarded by Mirzakhanian. Back to Spenjin, dangerous pass, ultimately reaches its destination. Spenjin has an open Avedian who wants it, gets blocked. And a foul, a strategic foul on Avedian. Avedian pleading his case to Garin Spenjin that he was wide open, but Spenjin thought he had the much smaller defender on him. What do you think there, Alec?
I definitely get what Big Z's saying there, but nonetheless, you got to get a stop now.
Gotta stay composed if you're Erebuni, not allow these small conditions to really validate any kind of negative performance, as Hakeem goes against Ohanessian, lots of contact, and the referee sees it as well, and we're going to get free throws from Jonathan Hakeem. I was telling you this after the Armenian Sniper halftime report, Alec. Hakeem is going to have to be a lot more aggressive for this Erebuni team to win. Now, if you're Hakeem, you're 17 years old, this is a new environment for you. What kind of mindset do you have to enter to kind of really push yourself against a bunch of players that are at least 10 to 5 or at least even 15 years older than you?
Yeah, it all starts with confidence in yourself. And I have seen that from him. He's a very confident player in his game. Some of the shots that he takes shows me, hey, I belong just as much as anyone. And I love to see that.
Hakeem getting a lot of interest from both colleges and the Armenian national team. Can perform for the 20 and under team, which will bring a lot of experience to him as he prepares for college basketball in the following year. As Vernon Teal easily goes, Hakeem frantically asking for help, needs some kind of assistance there, with Teal getting his 48th point of the night. 85-74, less than 5 and 15 left to go in regulation. Vernon Teal against Hakeem. Hakeem lets him shoot. No good. Zavedian brings it the other way.
Rich,
He's
I
gonna
just
let it
want to read off Teal's stat line to you really quick. Tell me if you've seen something like this before. 19 for 24 with another bucket there. So make that 20 of 25 with 52 points. Insane.
That might be the biggest plus minus I've ever seen in a plus or an efficiency factor. Like, teams in Europe are looking for stats like this. They're looking at game tape of this and saying, I know who I want to lead this team. And frankly, Aparan has done a quite the good job to keep Erebuni flat-footed in the second half as the lead extends to 15 points. Hakeem and Alayarian in a two-man game. Alayarian lets it fly. Erebuni's going to have to take it down to the rack if they're going to want any kind of stopping of the bleeding. Suspension shows good sportsmanship. A hard foul against Daniel Mirzakhanian. A normal foul for the 90s.
That is definitely true.
Do you miss those days?
I think the game and where it is today, Rich, is probably the best situation for a shooter, best situation for people that like spreading the court. You don't really get as many attacks to the rim as you used to, but it's all about your style, right? What do you prefer?
Look, it's as exciting as it's ever been. Steph Curry, I'm happy that has happened, but, you know, the Currys wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the game changing and benefit for the players, you know, injuries being taken into consideration. But at the end of the day, I want the Ron Artests. I want the Dennis Rodmans. I want the Isaiah Thomas, the Bill Lambiers that get personal, and then after the game, there's no diplomatic relationship between them. If they hate each other, they hate each other. And it's obvious until they retire. And then once you retire, you're shaking hands. That's what I miss. And frankly, I think the pendulum will at some point come back to a more aggressive style of gameplay as well, as Hakeem unable to make the free throw.
Yeah, I think people don't take the game as personal, like you said. They score a basket, hey, I'm just going to come back and score right back on you. Whereas in the past, you took it personal if someone scored on you.
Suspension with the three, making things a little personal there. 91-79. Still just a 12-point game. Today's standards, that can easily be cut. However, Vernon Teal has been the man to focus on. And frankly, it's been hard to get anything across. As Mirzakhanian misses the easy lay. And Erebuni have to clean up the boards in order to keep things competitive. With a bad pass by Sanderson from what seemed like a pass to Lual. And now a 16-point game. Is it over, Alec? What do you think?
Yeah, I think at this point there's almost no chance for Erebuni to come back. And what we talked about, you got to somehow contain this man right here. He is just so under control.
Teal, the man we were just talking about, clearly today's writing tutor player of the game with 54 points, 25 rebounds, 9 assists, and by the way, only 2 turnovers.
Just a great game from him. Just what Aparan needed, in my opinion, to get them going into the playoffs.
You know, in our post-game interview, I might have to have flashcards held up behind the cameraman just to remember his stat line. His stat line is something we have yet to see. Usually you have an offensive performance where it's kind of heavily on the offensive end, but this guy can play defense. He has 2 steals as well.
But you know everyone's going to be talking about that 60 mark that he's about to hit.
Yeah.
There it is.
And that's his 60th point.
Depends if they gave him a 3 on the last one, Rich, but that's 59 on the official stat line. Can he get that 6-0?
It's 59.
There it is.
And 61 points for Vernon Teal. Quite the effort tonight off a 23 of 30 field performance, and he is nowhere near leaving this court.
61, Rich. Just, I don't even know what to say. It was just so smooth of a performance.
Andreasen able to get a few more points in his bag as we're nearing 1 minute. 1 minute left to go in the game. 104-82. Great pass by Alayarian to Rennie Lawal for a quick little bang out.
I just love watching him go for any kind of a slam.
I agree. He gets up there. He gets quite up there indeed. The South Sudanese hooper out of Los Angeles. Played community college. As Hakeem enters the game, Spengen likely to be out for the rest of the match. Let him rest until the next game that Erebuni has against a very tough competition.
Rich, at full strength, can you see this Aparan team making some kind of a run deep into the playoffs? Or do you think they need a few more pieces still?
You know, considering the fact that Ray Reynolds is not here today, the national champion with Villanova on that famous Jalen Brunson team, also played with Josh Hart, I think Aparan can change things around, but it's all going to come down to composure, consistency, and how well you get to defend. Because this team has shown us that they can really compete on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, Erebuni didn't necessarily show me too much today where it challenged Aparan to the fullest extent. So to answer your question, a very long formatted way, shortened, I'd say I'm not sure. Beautiful move by Vernon Teal, the LMU athlete from 2010. Averaged 35 in New York in high school. And just like that, Ohanessian's going to get the last few buckets in as Erebuni is going to get the last shot. 110-89 is the official score for Aparan versus Erebuni. The stat line for Aparan's Vernon Teal, 65 points, 13 of 13 from the free throw line, 27 rebounds, and 9 assists and 2 steals, 1 block.
Rich, you're going to join the player of the game here in just a second. And like you just said, one of the best, I would say, premier performances that this league has had. One of the best debuts, if not the best debut for any player in this league, as Vernon Teal put up 65 points in his AABA debut, and he'll be joining our very own Rich Elmoyan here in just a second.
Writing tutor, player of the game, who else? Vernon Teal scored 64 points. It was 13 of 13 from the free throw line, 25 rebounds, 9 assists, only 2 turnovers, by the way, 2 steals, and 1 block. Vernon, you came into this game clearly focused with an edge. What kind of mentality were you coming into this game to really help Aparan get to that playoff push?
Before I came, they was telling me that they needed this game. It was a do-or-die game, and if it's a do-or-die game, I like to bet on myself every time. So that's the mentality that I came into the game with.
This game was decisive. It was between a number 4 and a number 5, both fighting for a playoff position. What were you telling your teammates during the timeouts? What kind of leadership were you showing out there?
I was just saying that if we wanted to win the game, we had to get stops and keep running. And once we get stops, we can keep running, and we don't have to play against their zone. So that was the message in the huddle, and I think we executed pretty well.
Vernon, we did our background. You have a background in LMU. You were averaging 35 in high school. We're quite familiar how long time has passed, but you don't look like you've aged any single bit. What is the secret to staying this active even today?
I don't eat meat. I'm a pescatarian. I eat well. I have a chef and I meal prep, so it's pretty easy for me to stay in shape, and I just feel like my body is my temple, so I like to take care of it.
You guys heard it here, folks. Vernon Teal, our player of the game, brought to you by Writing Tutor. Make sure to tune in for the AABA playoffs starting in a few weeks. Thank you.